Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 4 of my 3 vs 5 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, myself and 2 AI teammates set to Lord difficulty are up against a team of 5 AI set to Emperor difficulty. In this series, I'm playing as the Frostling Theocrat, Falsor Frostscroll. In our last episode, we split our forces, and we're really trying to get our one stack here that's led by our rogue hero, along with our few of our kind of leveled up units here. We're trying to get this stack over to join in with our allies. So we have both our allies here, our Frostling Warlord and our Frostling Sorcerer allies, and we're trying to get one of our units over to really be able to kind of continue to help them clear out structures, to try to kind of establish ourselves over on this side of the map, and then also to really be there to provide protection against, eventually we're going to encounter the 5 opponents here that are on a team against us. And I'm very concerned that my AI teammates are going to be in a lot of trouble given that they're on Lord difficulty. And so I need to get over there to really start being able to protect them. And so that's kind of the game plan with that stack. Now, that's also left me with a bit of a problem because I have, as you can see, Falsor, my Frostling Warlord, and I have also this Whaler who's still in this stack. And I'm not really sure exactly what to do with them at the moment, but my other objective that I really need to take care of is also to kind of continue to clear out things around my throne. I've still got this Necromantic Circle, and then we also have this situation in the Shadow Realm where I'd like to expand into it, but of course we have this Magic Rift that's causing problems for us in terms of spawning units, and we have this Shadow Elf city that I was considering absorbing. It's currently a vassal, but we could absorb it in. And so, again, that was a kind of decision that I was hemming and hawing over. Now, before I dive into the episode, though, and really get into kind of, like I said, that decision-making, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some fantastic comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments is from Gladden. Now, Gladden pointed out that my Frostling Warlord hero actually has some pretty nifty abilities kind of intrinsically, and let's take a look at him. So I had mentioned this, I think, when I first recruited him, but he does have Enchanted Protection and Enchanted Weapon. Basically, this means that every battle he's going to have a little bit more resistance, and he's also going to have some additional protection from one of the sort of magical elements, but he's also going to have some extra damage from one of those magical elements. And what Gladden is pointing out is that this really does kind of make him a very good fighter, actually, a melee fighter, which also goes along with him being a warlord. And since he's kind of been in a stack with my heroes most of this time and not leading an army, I have been giving him these upgrades that allow him to better lead forces, but I think it would actually be best, and I think Gladden's making a great point here, that it would probably be really good to actually upgrade his combat abilities. And I think that's a really good point, especially given that he's a warlord and given my current sort of drought of units to be able to add to my stacks. I think that would actually be a really good idea. The next comment here is from Nolan Cook. Nolan pointed out, as I'd kind of alluded to, and this was based on Nolan's comment, I kind of have these 2 divergent goals. So one of which is to kind of deal with things kind of on the home front, of course, continuing to clear out around my throne, dealing with that Necromantic Circle and the Shadow Realm situation, as I mentioned. And then the other kind of goal is to get my army over to my allies, and that's that rogue-led stack. Now, Nolan is mentioning that one thing that I could do, and probably should do, is to reinforce the rogue before I send them over. And I think I'm going to have to do that. I mean, when you look here, I really don't have much in the way of kind of muscle. I have a fairly decent Mammoth Rider. I had mentioned before I really don't have much access to healing in this stack, unfortunately. Although I do have spellcasting capability with my rogue to use. I can never remember the name of the spell, but Quick Dash, that's the one. So I can at least use that to heal, but that is kind of expensive given that it's going to cost me mana every time to do that. And, my mana resources are so-so at the moment. My income is decent, but I'm going to be casting a lot more spells, and so I can't rely exclusively on that. But also, I don't have quite enough muscle in this stack. And so one thing I suppose I could do is maybe send this Whaler over to join, and then try to augment this stack with, I do have a Snapper Crab I can add in, and I've also got, as you can see here, a Frostling Martyr, and we had a few more units moving down to join us, including this Tier 2 Frostling Clan Guard and this Cherub. But really, I think Nolan's making a great point there that my rogue army needs to be a bit stronger, and I'm also going to continue to try and use charm to really add more units to the stack. So big thank you to Nolan for that great set of comments. One other thing Nolan mentioned was that I am producing some prospectors here in my dwarven city. One thing I could do is send them underground and have them start mining the walls to gain some additional gold income, which I think would be a great way to augment my gold income. So once again, great comments from Nolan. The next comment here is from Death. Death is mentioning that I actually could take the Shadow Elf City now, and there's a reason for this. And so if we jump back, as I mentioned, this is currently a vassal, but can be absorbed at the moment. Now, my main hesitation was I don't have any units in the area that I could use to defend the city. And of course, we've got this spawning structure right here that's going to pose a real problem for me. And in addition, I have no idea what else is around over here. For all I know, there could be additional spawning structures, roaming units, all kinds of nasties that I can't see. And so I think that's, that was kind of part of my hesitation. But what Death is mentioning is that, really, I'm not going to have units getting out here anytime soon. And so if I absorb the city, I could probably summon my Cherub to guard it. And then the city's a reasonable size, and we have access to this gemstone mine I guess that's only augmenting the income. I was thinking that had something to do with production, but it is kind of using it looks a bit like the quarry. So I got a little confused there. But in any case, I should hopefully be able to use this city to produce a unit or two to be able to then, really effectively guard the city from anything that might come out of this magic rift, at least for the time being. I wouldn't be strong enough to capture it, or to clear it out, but I could probably defend the city. And that would allow me to at least start kind of building my influence in the Shadow Realm a little bit more. And I think Death makes actually a pretty good point there. Interestingly, Nolan actually thought that I kind of made the right choice by delaying absorbing the Shadow Elf City. So it's nice that there's kind of a difference of opinion there, because again, I don't know if there really is a right answer, so to speak. I think you could probably go either way here. So I'm going to kind of make a decision here in the next few minutes regarding what to do, but I appreciate the input from everybody. Death also mentioned that I should definitely consider getting some support units in addition to my Crusaders that I'm going to be making out of my Throne City here. So we're working on a Crusader, but one thing I could also do is get a White Witch or a Lore Keeper, and either of those are going to be currently unable to heal, but in the near future we'll be able to heal, hopefully, as once I'm done researching spiritual freedom and a few other things, I'm hopefully going to be able to get the upgrade for the Theocrat that gives all of my support units the ability to heal. And so that would allow my support units to really take care of my stacks. The next comment here is from My Brain Hurts. Brain had a great set of comments here, echoing sort of the comment from Gladden as well, that, when I have my units in a stack together, or excuse me, my heroes, I should say, in a stack together like this, again, I'm only getting the benefit of the upgrades that affect all of the units in the stack from whoever's the leader. And so, for example, my Warlord hero, all of those upgrades that I just talked about that are so great for helping out the units that he's leading, they have no bearing and benefit when he's not leading a stack. And so I really do agree with Gladden and with Brain on this one, that I should probably be upgrading my Warlord in particular, his combat ability. So great point there. Brain also mentioned that when a city has a quest and a vassal offer pop up at the same time, and they're two independent things, you actually need to decline the quest in order to get access to that second offer. And so that's a great point. I think that came up a turn or two ago in the last episode, and I got a little confused with that. So I appreciate Brain clarifying that. And then also Brain mentioned that, as always, rushing through a battle is never a good idea. And sometimes I fall into that because I don't want to dilly-dally and take too long. I know that might get a little boring for you guys at times if I'm, hemming and hawing over decisions, or, in this case, maybe even spending too long on the intro. But I agree with Brain on this one that really it's absolutely worth taking the time. It'd be really unfortunate for me to lose any more units at this stage, and I really can't afford that. And I know you guys really do enjoy the strategy aspect, and so I appreciate Brain kind of just reminding me to take my time, take a breath. Don't worry about, rushing through the battle for, any other reason. Really just focus on doing well, protecting my units, and getting the best outcome. So, big thank you to Brain for just kind of grounding me and reminding me on that one. So, Finally, a comment from Just Okay James. James mentioned that, and rightly pointed out, that I often rely, one of my main strategies when I'm playing Age of Wonders 3, it's just a personal preference, but I love converting units, using Charm, using things like Greater Reanimate Undead and Ghoul Curse to really bolster my unit count and really gain lots of armies that way. And James is suggesting that in a future playthrough, something I could consider doing as maybe like a challenge would be to actually avoid doing that. So to challenge myself to not obtain any units via any mind control or anything like that, any Ghoul Curse, nothing like that. I think that's a great idea. So that's a challenge that I'm going to keep, on the back burner for a future playthrough, because I think that's a great idea, and it would really challenge me to kind of step outside of my one of my preferred strategies. So as always, guys, thank you very much for the comments and suggestions. I'm always extremely impressed by the insight you guys provide. So with that, and again, apologies for the slightly longer intro, but I thought it was worth really going through this because we've got some really important decisions to make. And again, I love taking into account what you guys have suggested. So we're going to jump in, though, and we're going to start. Again, lots to do, lots of decisions to make here. So I think one of the first things we're going to want to do... okay, so Throne City here, as I mentioned, we know we're going to have the Crusaders coming out soon. And then I think probably after that we'll do a White Witch or the Lore Keeper. And once the Crusader's done, I'll think a little more heavily about which one I want to grab. Both of them have an upgrade ability, so Touch of Faith, or excuse me, like a benefit ability. Touch of Faith is very powerful. And so is Grant Frozen Flames, actually. One thing I could potentially do here, let's take a look at the Lore Keeper and see what kind of upgrades we get. So we would get Turn Undead and Invoke Berserk. Turn Undead could be useful in certain scenarios, although generally probably not going to be used all that often, whereas the White Witch, as we upgrade, does get Dispel Magic, Inflict Scorching Heat, Inflict Frostbite, and Freezing Touch. So I'd probably lean a little more towards the White Witch at this point, but... again, that's a decision we can make a little bit later. We had moved all of our units, so I think what we'll do is probably end our turn here. I don't think there was really much else for us to do. Again, I could move the Cherub independent of the Clan Guard, but I think I'd rather keep them together just for protection's sake. One thing I could do, though, is start moving the Whaler over, and I am actually pretty tempted to do that. As much as it would be nice to keep the Whaler here just for the fighting potential, I really think we need another powerful unit in this stack with my rogue. So I am going to kind of double down here and send my... Let's see, what's the fastest way there? Okay, right here. I hate to do it, but we're going to send the Whaler over. The reason I say I hate to do it is because this stack now really doesn't have much in the way of units. I mean, we really just have our two heroes, or our leader and our heroes. So we're going to have to remedy that soon. Now, thankfully, we will have a Prospector in 2 turns. So at least we'll have a couple of units, and we are bringing this stack down to join. So in another turn or two, we'll solve that problem. All right, let's begin here. So we're going to end our turn. Thankfully, we are now going to have access to the Summon Cherub. Actually, shoot, one thing I guess I could have done before the turn flipped over is really absorb the city here. And, again, I'm really torn on this one. As I mentioned, two great opinions. Everybody making really good points. It's just, man, it's a really tough call because I also have to think about I have a fairly limited amount of gold at the moment. I think I saw it was going to cost me about, give or take, it was looking like about 100 gold or a little more than 100 gold to bring them into the fold as a full-fledged city rather than a vassal. And so that's gonna cost me a fair bit of my current pool of gold there. But I need to make sure that I'm also keeping in mind that, I might want to bring in other cities and have other gold to spend on other things. So, I don't know. But in any case, boy, tough decisions. Okay. Well, okay, lots going on here. So, this turn I could still do it. But let's see. Excellent. Okay, so we founded our new city, and this is great. We've actually brought... So this is going to really help what I was just talking about, my gold situation. We've brought 3 gold mines and a water node into the mix from this new city. You can see we've got the new Frostling outpost of Osthili. And this is one we're going to have to work on upgrading, that's for sure, because right now it's quite small. We might want to, really get growth going kind of quickly here, just to try to expand the city a little bit. But in any case, even just from an income perspective, this is huge. I mean, just look at what it's bringing in, 63 gold per turn. That's absolutely huge. and that extra mana income is great as well. So very useful there. Again, we have the join offer there from our Shadow Elf City. Interestingly, we also have a join offer from our little Frostling vassal here, the outpost of Brunsund. And now the other thing about this is we're going to kind of have the same problem that we had with our Shadow Elf City from that Magic Rift being a threat. That said, it would be nice to bring this into the fold, start developing it, letting it grow a little more. As the city expands, we can hopefully get this fire node and maybe even these gold mines eventually. Not to mention we can, try and maybe get a few units going here and clear out some of the structures on this island, protect ourselves from the Magic Rift, and then maybe use this to kind of team up with the Shadow Elves and clear out that Magic Rift eventually. But before I worry about that, we also have our Cherub to summon. So, okay, well, I'm going to procrastinate dealing with that for a second, and I'm going to send this unit down. Again, we really need to join up with our hero stack, who is now literally just our leader and hero, as I mentioned. Now, our Whaler can head over. The problem is we're going to have a bit of reduced movement here, and we're not going to be able to catch up immediately. So one thing I suppose we could do is continue to try and use this stack without the Whaler for now. For example, we could try and clear out this set of lizard men here that are guarding a gold mine. We can also try to use our charm on one of them. Gladden had also mentioned that this lizard man circle thrower, the throw circles will actually has a chance basically to bounce up to 3 additional enemy targets. So if I get a hold of one of these, that could actually be a fairly powerful, albeit a tier 1 unit, a fairly powerful archer unit. Which wouldn't be so bad, and of course gets some nice upgrades as well, including inflict crippling wounds at the elite rank. So, yeah, I don't want to leave this stack just kind of sitting here for another turn. So maybe what I'll do is I'll grab Lucky here, and then we can head down. And now we've also got, a quarry. Okay, and it's guarded by a Tigran Hellion, Catmaster, Prowler, and a Scarl Jari. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty tough. I think we would definitely want the Whaler involved if we were going to try that. That being said, we could probably do this gold mine right now. I think that would be just fine. So let's maybe give that a shot here. Okay, and we'll do this one manually because, again, we want to try and get that charm. I need to be very careful. I can't afford to lose anybody in this battle, so... And there, you saw that throw circle jump from one unit to the next. Okay, now, thankfully, they have kind of grouped up for me a little bit here, which is going to help with my Flamer. Ooh, look at that. Pretty good damage there, actually. Quite a lot. That was fantastic. Okay, one thing I suppose we could do is move our Rogue up ever so slightly. Blast the Lizardman Renegade here for some really good damage. Let's see. We could do... This is going to give us 3 to 4 and 1. So, minimum of 4, maximum of... 5, I guess, versus minimum of 4, maximum of 6. So that's a little better. I don't want to get my rogue too far in there, so I think we'll hang back ever so slightly. We've also got our Glavesman, who could actually get up there and engage the circle thrower in melee combat, which wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. So you know what? Let's do that. We'll light up the Renegade here for a little bit of damage, soften him up ever so slightly, and then we can charge right in there with our Mammoth Rider. I guess we'll charge in probably like this is best. Nice. Okay, and there's the kill. And because we have killing momentum, we can actually step over and then attack the circle thrower here. Perfect. Okay. Now, our Glavesman, we can use to tie up this circle thrower. It's a shame we couldn't get the kill there, but that's all right. So let's tie them up. Now, again, they could always just step back and hit me with an attack, but, I mean, we're in defense mode. I think we'll be fine. I just hope they don't kill themselves by attacking me. Okay, that's fine. Oh, ouch, that throws circles there. Okay, now, let's see if we can get the charm off. So one thing we're going to have to do is get our Glavesman to move up a little bit. Okay, so we can step up with our hero and then see if we are in range. We are not, but thankfully we have sprint. Okay, so we got a 55% chance. Oh, shoot, and they resisted, and now it's shaken. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't think... Ooh, yeah, we're not going to be able to get the kill just yet, so that's a bit of a shame. So we are going to take a little more damage here than I wanted. I think we'll be all right, but... Okay. Oh, look at that. And it bounced to all my units there because they're close enough together. So one thing I can do here is throw a quick dash onto my Glazesman just for the healing. And then step up and get the kill that way. So let's do that. Perfect. So we didn't get the charm, but that's all right. We got some experience. And a little bit more gold, which is going to be helpful there. All right, so we can figure out maybe where we want to go next. Again, the eventual goal is to head over here, but while we're on our way, we may as well clear out some structures. Okay, this one is guarded by some Nomad units here, including a Tier 3 Nomad Rock, which again is a mounted unit on a flying creature. Then we've got a Nomad Guardsman and a Commoner. The Chieftain is a mounted support unit that can, cause us some problems. So, yeah, we definitely are going to need the Whaler in the stack here if we're going to have any chance of dealing with this stuff down here. I suppose one thing we could do is maybe just do a little bit of sort of quasi-scouting. It's kind of hard to see what else there is down here. One thing, let me see. If we just move a little bit down the road... Yeah, okay, we do have access to clearing out this creation node on our way over. So, maybe what we do is we regroup up here. Kind of like this. And we can get our Whaler involved. Then we can head over and clear out the creation node. And then we can really get over and start working with our allies. Maybe even try for that lost library. That wouldn't be so bad. Get us some extra knowledge income, or maybe a free spell or something, or upgrade. Now, as for the Cherub, again, I've got a few options here. I could summon it to join in this stack and kind of try to have them at least have some units in the army. I could also, as I had mentioned previously, summon it over here, either on this city if I'm going to bring it into the fold, or alternatively here in the Shadow Realm. And you know what? One thing, okay, why don't I do it? I'll summon it in the Shadow Realm. I'll do a little bit of scouting just by, the existence there of the unit. Now, I don't see anything in the immediate area, so I think I'm actually going to bring the city into the fold here. Again, this might backfire, but I'm gonna do it. Let me just double check. So this is a box of cataclysms. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't any kind of roaming set of units. All right, so let's do it. We're going to join our empire. Hopefully this city has a few things to it. Well, it has a shrine and a builder's hall, so that at least is good. We could do a Shadow Elf Touch. Now, this is a unit that will evolve when it hits gold medal. It's an irregular unit. And that can actually come out in one turn, so that's not a bad idea. We could also get a Theocrat. Oh, you know what? This would probably be a good idea. Getting a Theocrat's Conclave would then give us access to Crusaders and Evangelists and Martyrs as well. Evangelists, once we get access to it, of course, we have to research it. The Temple would give us the Shadow Elf Storm Priest, which is a very, very powerful Tier 2 support unit. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's probably... Okay, let's make a Shadow Elf Touched, just to have an extra unit there to help guard. Before we do that, let's just do a little bit more scouting around here, just to see what we can see. Looks like we've got, okay, a Forgotten Throne. Alright, so thankfully, at least in the very immediate vicinity, some production resources over here. Really, the Magic Rift is the main thing. So let's jump back to the city. We'll camp out for now. Once we have the Shadow Elf Touched, then we can proceed to maybe grab a Theocrat's Conclave and work on production of some very powerful units out of there. And that would really allow me to kind of really get a good foothold in the Shadow Realm and hopefully eventually get rid of this Magic Rift. Okay, so now the next question is, do I want to bring this into the fold just yet? It's really only 58 gold. That's not too bad. That would allow me to start developing it. But I think since maybe we brought the Shadow Elves in, we should maybe hold off on this for a little bit until we have a little bit more gold, maybe a few more units. Also, in the meantime here, it would be nice to get Paid Absolution going on another city to really help our gold income. But I'm kind of thinking maybe another Cherub would be the right choice right now. This is really costing me. It'd be nice to have some extra casting points to speed this up a little bit. But... You know what? Let's do the Cherub, because once the Spiritual Freedom is done, I'm going to want to throw that probably on my Throne City to boost up any of my newly produced units that are coming out of there. So That's what we'll do for now. As for this stack, I mean, again, we're going to add our crab in, that's for sure. Where they're going to go, though, that's the next question. I'm thinking probably underground is going to be where they're going to have to head. You know, we could even summon the cherub down here and use it as a scout. I actually think we need to do that to find out what else is down here. Also around this vassal as well. That would be useful. So, okay, we're going to probably send this group eventually underground. For now, though, let's maybe just have them... Well, I mean, I guess we could end underground with our snapper crab. It's just a little scary given that we don't really have any other units to help them at the moment. So maybe we'll just put them there for a turn. As much as I hate to have them be kind of inactive, we do need to have some more units to really help them out. So we'll get our crab over there to join in. Again, this group will be there relatively soon. Unfortunately, it's going to be a couple of turns till we're over there. But in the meantime, we'll at least have the prospector join the stack. So I think we'll be able to do something there. Now we can start producing something in our brand new Frostling City. The Builder's Hall would help us with production, which might be a good choice. But getting extra growth on the city, I think, is a priority. So let's go Storehouse as our first choice. Again, that's really cutting into our gold, so we have to be careful. Now, this Glade Runner was our scout out here. Now, we could pay to open our borders and have a peace treaty with this High Elf city, but I didn't really want to spend the gold to do that at this point. So, I think what I'm going to have them have this army or this unit do, excuse me, is just continue to do some scouting for me. So, let's maybe head down here into the mist a little bit, see what we can see. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, so this stack, as much as I hate to do it, they're going to just hang out there for now. And then I think we're going to end our turn there. Okay. I am extremely happy to be sending an army over to really help my allies out, though. That's going to, you know, give me a really good shot at keeping them alive. Again, that being one of my goals for this series, is to make sure that I keep my allies alive. I'm just kind of taking a look at what they've got going on here. Really not much guarding the throne city at the moment for our sorcerer ally. Ooh, look at that. A Frostling Ice Mage. That's kind of cool. Tier 2 unit. Presumably a sorcerer-specific unit. The throne city of our warlord ally. Didn't really clear out a lot of the structures around here, which, again, we could probably help with that maybe if we can get some units over. Oh, look at this. I'm actually glad I didn't incorporate Brunsund into my empire because we're getting a tribute. So, gold or mana. I think I'll take the gold at the moment. Excellent. So that's great. They would still like to join us. And again, I am still considering that for sure. Nice. Okay, our very first Crusader has come out. That's fantastic. So, we want to get this Crusader into the mix, that's for sure. It's just unfortunate it's going to be a little bit till we're able to get down there. You know what? I'm actually going to send this Martyr down, I think. As much as we do need something to guard the city here, a single unit's not really going to do anything. So, let's get our Martyr down to join in with our stack, along with our Prospector. I actually wish I had remembered this Martyr. I would have sent him down last turn. And then, you know what? We are going to head underground. Alternatively, I suppose we could send this stack down to clear some of this stuff around here, maybe. Although I don't know if we're strong enough to battle this at the moment without extra units. But again, that's where the Crusader heading down there is probably going to be helpful. So let's get our Crusader kind of wandering this direction. Oh, something else that I completely forgot to mention. And I apologize, I can't remember exactly who had mentioned it, but in terms of research options, I believe it might have been Nolan Cook, but again, I can't remember exactly who had mentioned it. Or actually, it might have been Death, now that I think about it. Had mentioned getting advanced seafaring. And that would be probably a good choice, given that there's so much water here. That would help me out a little bit on the open water, as my units would get the better boat that they're going to be in, rather than the kind of the standard aquatic transport. Anyway, I apologize for not correctly attributing that comment. I just remembered it now. Okay. So we've got our allies won some battles. Hopefully they weren't too expensive for them. All right, our Shadow Elf touched is done, so that's great. All right, so we're guarding the city now. So now let's focus on what we want to do to kind of get this city really functional. The city is going to grow in 3 turns, so I think we do a Theocrat's Conclave here. That's going to give us access to some very powerful units and relatively quickly. 3 turns, and then we should be able to really start pumping out some very powerful units there. So that's excellent. As for our Dwarf Outpost, really, I think at this point, we're just going to grab another Prospector. So yeah, really now the question here is, do we want to go underground or do we want to clear out stuff over here? Again, I just don't know if we're quite powerful enough for some of these quarries that are a little bit more well defended. That said, I mean, between our 2 heroes, I think hopefully we'd be able to handle some of the challenge here. And let's see if there's anything we can do at the moment. You know, martial arts wouldn't be bad. I actually quite like that for a warlord. So let's grab martial arts. And you know what else we can do is maybe just boost his health a little bit. That's going to make him a little bit better fighter. So there we go. Again, our martyr's coming down. Okay, this army can move closer. Again, still a little ways away, but at least getting there. Yeah, and our cherub can't really get that much further, so we'll leave them together. With all these extra units, I think we'd be able to handle this situation over here a bit better now. So let's move over. We'll get our rogue going. Again, we want to get over and join our allies. So we will attack the creation node. Now we have to remember that the blessing is in effect here. Mass bless, so our opponents are going to have a little bit more defense than we would otherwise expect. This is actually going to be a fairly challenging battle. We've got a wild horse, 2 fell horses that do fire damage, meaning that, not a ton, mind you, only 2 out of their 10 that they do with melee. But, you know, again, as frostlings, we got to watch out for that. So, let's see. Our Mammoth Rider's probably going to have to be our... Actually, our Glavesman will be good with our as a pikeman. That'll be very helpful. So let's get our Glavesman up there. We want to keep our Flamer back, that's for sure, given the low health currently. The Whaler, again, is going to be very helpful, especially with Throw Net and the nice Harpoon attack. I think, you know what, let's just kind of... I have a feeling they're not going to come out to face me, but let's see. Oh, they are. Okay, that's going to make it a little easier for us. Nice. Okay, getting some good damage in there. Thankfully, we didn't take too much unnecessary punishment. All right, so our Flamer should be able to help us a little bit with this Fell Horse. Very nice. And then we should be able to just get the kill out right here with our Glavesman. So let's do that. Perfect. Okay, that's great. Now, our Whaler should be able to help us here a little bit. So let's jump in behind. Try for the kill. We didn't quite get it, but we did a fair bit of damage. And then one thing we can do, we want to charm. That's not going to be effective against our Spirit Elemental at all. So really our best bet is going to be to charm probably the Fell Horse. So the only other problem is we currently... Fell Horses... You know what? All right, I'm not going to worry about charming anything for this battle. Let's just get the kill here, and then we can step up and... well, we could attack the Fell Horse pretty heavily, or we could just kind of sit in defense mode. But I think we will attack. There we go. Now, oh, look at that. We took some damage, but I think we'll be fine. Hopefully. Oh, no. Oh, wow, that almost turned out very poorly. Okay, and like I mentioned, the Spirit Elemental should be, yeah, totally immune to that, so that's not going to help us. So let's do a quick dash on the Mammoth Rider just to get some health back. Again, the Flamer is going to be able to help us here a little bit. Get a kill on the Fell Horse. Perfect. Now, we got to deal with this Spirit Elemental. This is not going to be easy, unfortunately, for us here. So, we'll step over with the Glavesman. Do a nice flank hit there. Boy, we can do some devastating hits here with the Mammoth Rider as well. We could try to ensnare in the net, although the odds of that working are kind of low. So what we'll do is we'll actually go over here. I don't want to turn them around, so we'll just do a little bit more damage. And then we can do some big flank damage here. Hopefully get a 2-hit kill. Excellent. Okay, there we go. So we escaped that one without losing anybody. We did get a level up with our Flamer. And a little bit of extra mana, which isn't so bad. And then we can continue to move along the road here. Oh, and we can't... Oh, unfortunately, we can't quite make it to the haste berries because of the whaler. So in that case, what we'll do is we'll just head up here. And we'll think about maybe trying out the Lost Library. Of course, healing is a problem at the moment. So Brunson still wants to join. Again, I'm still kind of hesitant at the moment. Just due to my strained resources. So let's just see, was there anything else? I think we're pretty solid. So Halls, again, our throne city. We do have some production options. I think really at this point, what I want to do is probably get out, as was suggested, a support unit. So let's do a White Witch. That will be useful for us, I think. Now, our Glade Runner still has some scouting that can be done, so let's try a little bit of that, at least down the water here. Do need to be careful because... Oh, and look at that. There we go. A treasure chest. That's huge. I do need to be careful because, obviously, if I go too far, I may encounter one of my opponents, and that would encounter all 5 of them then because they're a team. And that usually, once you encounter them, it kind of... They're more likely to then come and attack you, it sort of seems. And at the moment, I'm definitely not ready for that. So, God, again, you know, this is where my lack of scouting is really kind of biting me in the butt here. Because, again, underground, really don't know what there is to clear. I see a tomb up there, but I'm not probably strong enough at the moment to deal with that. So, I guess going over here wouldn't be the worst idea. Yeah, you know what? All right, let's do that. We can always turn around and go underground. So we'll start heading over there. We'll go to these quarries, and we'll have our other units there to kind of help us out. I think it's probably safe to break this unit up now and start having the Cherub go a little bit on its own, just to kind of get a bit further. That's a risk, but hopefully it's not too bad. Okay, I think that's going to do it. So we'll end our turn there. And hopefully we'll have this White Witch fairly soon here. 2 turns. Eventually, I am going to need to have an army deal with this Necromantic Circle. It's just such a pain because of these rocks here that are preventing me from getting there easily. The worst thing that could happen right now would be some Lost Souls spawn and attack my throne. Thankfully, when I saw the unit that was roaming around there, it had some land-based units, I think like a zombie or something, that couldn't just easily get over here because, again, the roaming units can't actually embark. And so that unit was basically trapped on this little island. All right. So, I'm thinking about this a little more, and again, we really need to get experience with our Theocrat to get access to convert. That's a big deal. Spiritual freedom is now researched, so we're going to be able to use that shortly. All right, I think it would be good to have some scouting down here, so let's get our Cherub maybe here. The other option would be to send it underground, but I think here would be best. What I would like to see is what's going on over here. Oh, shoot. Okay, and of course now we're probably going to lose that unit to this set of roaming units there. What I should have done is stayed along the ridge here where the water is. But we do know now that there's a spawning structure there, an Eldritch Pit. That's going to have to get cleared out eventually, that's for sure. Okay, now I would like to get this Clan Guard over here quickly. Meanwhile, this Cherub, which is leveled up, would probably be useful to add in. I suppose the Martyr could come down, or, you know, maybe we keep the Martyr up there to guard the city. I don't know. Again, having a single unit guarding a city really isn't all that helpful, to be perfectly honest. The Cherub can join in with the stack. I think what we'll do, though, is we'll kind of head over like this. We'll get the Cherub, and we'll also get the Clan Guard over to help us as soon as we can. The Martyr actually can get there pretty fast as well. So you know what? We will send the Martyr over, too. Because the Clan Guard's going to take 2 turns to get there, whereas the Martyr and the Cherub can join the stack, and then we can all kind of converge and try and start clearing things out. Spiritual Freedom is now done, so that's going to be my next thing I'm going to cast. And I'm going to summon that on my Throne City to improve the units that I'm producing out of there. Crusader is ready to go, so that's helpful. We can head down there as well. Okay, next research choice. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Rally of the Populace. That's a debuff for enemy cities. Again, Exalted Martyrs. Martyrs will gain XP faster, and then this is what allows them to evolve into Exalted once they hit gold medal. That is pretty enticing, but I just don't know if it's worth really pursuing. Getting Evangelists wouldn't be so bad. They do have Convert, which as I've talked about, I do enjoy. Again, Advanced Seafaring would be helpful, so the big benefit there is that units embark on galleons instead of frigates, and boats and embark units get extra vision as well. And also, getting closer to advanced logistics is always a good idea because, that's really helpful just getting around. Magic Barrier would be great now that I have my Crusaders that have shields. Units with shields will get a +2 resistance bonus against non-flanking attacks, which is actually a pretty big deal when you think about it. That would make my Martyrs that much, or excuse me, my Crusaders that much tougher. But really, I think I need the casting points at this stage, so I'm going to probably go for some Divine Channeling at the moment. The real shame, though, is it's 50, and this is 60, which would be kind of unfortunate. So maybe I'll hold off on that, try and do something a little bit more, I hate to say it, but Exalted Martyrs is 200. That's a nice, efficient use of my knowledge income. Order of the Templar Knights. Yeah, that's just Spirit Protection and then Devout. Again, if I do Exalted Martyrs, that might free up upgrades, and hope maybe that would give me access to the healing upgrade as a Theocrat. Really, I think getting Crusaders was the main push. Evangelists at this stage would be great. They also have healing, which is useful. But I think I can wait on that one a little bit. So getting the Exalted Martyrs would be good. It's just I really only have the one Martyr, and I'm probably not going to make many more of them. So I'm a little bit less excited about getting that upgrade at the moment, to be perfectly honest. All right, anyway, let's see. Maybe we can gain some extra knowledge here that might improve things for me. Really, though, I don't know if this group currently is going to be strong enough. With the Mammoth Rider pretty beat up, I just don't know if it's going to be a good idea. Let's take a look at what we'd be up against. Ooh, that's a little scary. So we'd have, a Tigran Seer. That's a tier 3 support unit it's riding an elephant. Melee Strike, Safeguard, and then a Psionic Blast. Ooh. Yeah, that's not feeling so good. Draconian Chanter, Draconian Dragon Priest. Yikes. Got a few abilities I'm not familiar with. So Rejuvenate Dragon Blood. Restore 10 health to target friendly Draconian or Dragon unit. Dragon Bind. Unit gains +1 resistance, links itself to target friendly dragon unit that is not already linked. Oh, interesting. Any damage that is dealt to the linked unit is reduced by 35% dealt to this unit instead. Okay, so kind of like the Frostling units can do to the Ice Queen, really. Okay, that makes sense. This one's kind of meant for dragons, or I'm assuming Draconian units. All right, so yeah, that's going to be tricky, though. And then, of course, the Reanimators are deadly. Because, of course, they can raise corpses, which can, be a problem for me in the battle. I could kill something and then, be fighting a skeleton right after that. Let's just take a look at the Seer real quick. That Psionic Blast does a lot of damage, Spirit, and Shock. Also has access to Safeguard. Interesting. Total Awareness. Pretty good amount of health as well, so... And a pretty strong melee attack for a support unit. That's a pretty scary unit, actually. I don't feel great about that at the moment, to be perfectly honest. Oh, it'd be great to get that knowledge. That might be enough to, if I could get 10 knowledge out of it, that would be perfect. But I just don't think that's worth the risk, really. Let's see what else we've got going on. I always try to procrastinate one decision by thinking about something else, and then sometimes you kind of come to a decision while you're thinking about something else, or you come across more information. Well, yeah, we're in a bit of a situation in terms of, you know, do I want to risk this? I mean, truthfully, no, because I just really don't think I'm powerful enough at the moment. Maybe what we do is we continue to raid some other structures, try to get a little bit stronger that way, and then we come back once we've gained a bit more, experience and strength there. Now, here wouldn't be bad. We'd be up against some powerful cavalry units. Vampire Hunter, Pikeman. Yeah, that's still pretty scary. I mean, these quarries are a little bit more well defended than the other structures, like gold mines are, for example. What's really bothering me is this Mammoth Rider having such low health at the moment, and my ability to only really kind of vaguely heal it with Quick Dash. All right, you know what? Let's give this a shot. I mean, this is really almost as risky as the battle for the library, but I think I feel a little better about this one, given that I've got a pretty good pikeman unit there. So, all right, we'll do this one manually. I hope I'm not going to regret this. I already kind of regret it, to be honest. Oof, blessed arrows. That wasn't fun. All right, let's see. The Vampire Hunter. These pikemen are going to be a problem. Or excuse me, the cavalry, I should say. Okay, let's get our hero back here. Maybe like this. We'll probably throw Quick Dash, like I said, onto the Mammoth Rider just to get that healing in. I think we'll park our Glavesmen kind of here, anticipating that the cavalry are going to charge right at us. Flamer can back up. Whaler can kind of guard the Flamer a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do, unfortunately, I can only cast Quick Dash once. I think I'm going to need to throw it on the Mammoth Rider just so that the Mammoth Rider is able to actually, like, be part of this fight. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to throw Quick Dash onto the Mammoth Rider. I mean, I'm also tempted to throw it on the Glavesman, but that's not as useful, and we don't get a full heal out of it. So, all right, there we go. Oh my gosh, yeah, I regret this battle so much. Oh, that sucks. Okay, thankfully, wow, look at the damage we just did. That's incredible. Holy cow, we just obliterated that Prodigal Squire. Wow, the power of a pikeman there. That was brilliant. And you know what's great is now we have Overwhelm because we're at gold medal. That's fantastic. Oh, that went super well. Okay, I feel a little bit better about this now. Here we go. And we have armor piercing and that poison damage. So that's great. Let's blast here. Excellent. We got the kill there. That's huge. We needed that. Now we have to watch out for this pikeman. That's a little scary, but limited mobility there, so that actually kind of is in our favor. Now we have a chance to maybe try for a conversion. It's unfortunate. I could have tried to convert one of the cavalry, and maybe they would have been able to get promoted into a knight. But when if I step up, I'm going to be in range of the pikemen. That's not good. Are the pikemen tier 2? No, they're tier 1. Vampire Hunter's a tier 2 unit. Would be kind of nice to get a hold of if possible. Oh, here's an idea. We'll step over here, actually. Let's do this. And then we'll convert. 40% chance. Not great, but let's give it a shot. Excellent. Okay, that's amazing. We got it. Okay, we're going to throw them in defense mode to try to protect them from the pikeman attack. And we'll leave our Mammoth Rider where he is. The Whaler can step up and try for the immobilization. Okay, we didn't... Looks like we didn't get it. But we did some damage. And they are bleeding now, which is helpful. They're going after our new Vampire Hunter. We don't want to lose that Vampire Hunter since we just went through all that trouble to get him. The Flamer can blast here for some damage and get the kill if we hit. So maybe we want to get the kill with the Rogue if we can, actually. Step in behind. There's nothing else we can really do for, like, healing or anything like that. So what we'll do instead here is we will blast and get the kill with our rogue. Oh, that's great, though. We got ourselves a nice tier 2 unit. Ooh, and an item here. Fairy Forged Blade and some gold. You know what? I will take this. This is a good melee weapon. And I'm actually going to send that immediately down to my Warlord hero, who I don't think... I just want to double check. I don't think my Warlord currently has a melee weapon. He does not. Okay, that's great. Because, again, our plan is to use him a little bit more aggressively in melee combat now. So we're going to send that down to Ultmar. Yeah, that's very, very helpful. Okay, Ultmar is going to have this new melee weapon here. So we're going to equip that. And then, yeah, that worked out super well. Okay, so now I think we can probably just kind of maybe... let's see, what are we... It's this one here. We've got... Ooh, Goblin Poxmasters, Butcher, Arbalist. Those are some tough structures. Maybe we'll head down to this mana node down there, destruction node. See if we can clear that out. Yeah, that's a better opportunity. We got a Rock Troll. Dedicated to evil. Otherwise, I'd love to try and convert it and maybe get it on my side. But dedicated to evil is not going to work for me. So, yeah, we'll try for the kill there. That's some more experience, and we'll just keep trying to gain some extra units maybe as we go. All right, so again, I've been kind of hemming and hawing a lot this episode, which I apologize for. It's probably a little frustrating in some ways. But let's decide. So, again, research choices. Factoring in how efficient we are with our knowledge. Again, it would be really nice to have the extra casting points, but that's not the most efficient. That said, I mean, I almost think it's maybe worth it just to try and speed up some of the casting that we're doing here. Because we are casting a lot, and we're kind of relying on it. So, as much as it pains me, I think we are going to do it. Okay, there we go. Let's grab the extra... Ooh, yeah, there we go. Nice gold there. Oh, and I'm nervous to keep going south, but let's see. Maybe we can go this way. Yeah, there we go. Just keep doing some exploring. We're not going to bring Brunsald in. Even though we have a decent amount of gold at this point, I'm still a little hesitant. Although, now that we have more gold, maybe I should consider it. What the heck. I mean, again, I might regret this, but let's do it. Okay, and then you know what? We can start working on just a unit or two to guard the city. Let's get an ice scraper going. All right, perfect. Let's end the battle, or end the turn there, excuse me. All right. So, yeah, we desperately need to get Falsor back in action, though. He needs to get into the fight some more because we need to get him up to level 7 where he gets access to Convert. And that really can then start, helping me. As you're seeing with my Rogue, I can use Convert in much the same manner. Convert is a little bit stronger, though. It's got a bit more, a slightly better chance of mind controlling the enemy units, so... Alright, Icorian's won his battles. Yeah, I haven't really been paying much attention to how those battles have been going for my allies, but it is at least nice to see that they've gained a few extra cities. The Warlord is actually doing extremely well. He's got 1, 2, 3, and then his throne, so he's actually got 4 cities already. And if you zoom out, you can see it even better. Whereas the Sorcerer ally currently has 2 cities there, so he definitely kind of had some trouble at the very beginning. I'm really hoping I can establish a city over here as well for myself. I was hoping maybe this Elven city at some point would become either a vassal. Oh, shoot, and there's the cherub. All right, let's see. Maybe we can... Oh, but this Feathered Serpent has really good mobility. I was thinking I could maybe kite them a little bit, but I just don't think that's going to be possible. Yeah, we're going to let this go. That's really unfortunate. Kind of a waste of my summon there. I mean, at least we know this is here, but... Oh, that's frustrating. Okay, nice. We've gotten better at governing Shadow Elves, so let's see what our options are. Shadow Elf Irregulars gain Shadow Realm Concealment and +2 mobility. Or Shadow Elf cities and units no longer dislike Blighted or Subterranean. I'm not really anticipating having a lot of Irregulars, even though I've already produced one. So I think I'm going to go with the cities and units no longer like the Blighted or Subterranean. I think that's going to be a little bit more broadly useful for me, really. Excellent. Nice. Okay, we had the items show up. There we go. Now Ultmar is way more powerful in melee. That's huge. Nice. And we've had our Dwarven city here grow a little bit. It's now a village, I guess I should say. But that's very helpful. Okay, and we've got some more units here to add into the stack. So we can go 1, 2. Now we've got, I mean, again, these are really not strong units, but with our 2 heroes, I think we'll hopefully be able to handle this battle. So we're going to give that a shot. We've also now got this Frostling Clan Guard who, unfortunately, can't quite make it all the way there, but can certainly get close enough to kind of help us out in the future. Alternatively, we could send the Clan Guard over to kind of join in with our Rogue. You know, we have options. The Crusader as well is going to kind of do the same thing. Get over this way. Okay, and we did finish the White Witch as well. Now, the White Witch, and you know what, maybe as much as it'd be nice to have the unit with healing go down there, I'm almost thinking maybe of sending the White Witch up north this way, actually, to my new city here. And then we can kind of start working on some of the structures and defending it. Maybe even send an army down to eventually get rid of this Necromantic Circle. Probably go for maybe another Crusader at this stage. Yeah, let's get another Crusader going. The White Witch, I think, actually wouldn't be so bad to maybe send north here. Even though, like I said, I do need the healing in the south. I think we'll be able to manage. I think we'll be all right. So, yeah, we're going to send the White Witch north here. All right. Rogan Dur. So that's our Dwarven village. So we now have a Prospector there. I'm actually, like I said, tempted to send him underground. And you know what? We can start doing some tunneling here for the gold income. Also get a little bit of exploring done kind of at the same time. All right, and our Glade Runner is going to continue exploring over here. Just keep cruising around, looking for any extra gold or anything like that. Do have a quest available for Leandris. Let me see what it is. And the Undead Scourge. You know, and we are in the area, so I am going to accept this. We would get a High Elf Outrider, so I'm going to accept the quest. And we will have to get over there, but I don't think that's too outlandish for our Rogue to eventually do. We just have to remember that it's something we need to handle. Now, as for our Dwarven Village, what to do next? I mean, the Builder's Hall would be great at this point to get us up above 50. So maybe we'll do that. Let's get the Builder's Hall going. Okay, main stack. Let's do this battle. This is going to be tricky because, again, we've got some powerful units we're up against, but I think we can handle it. Now, between our leader and our hero, I think... I suspect we'll be okay. Now, one thing we're going to want to do is make use of our spell casting here. So, I think what I'm going to do... I think I'm going to throw Touch of Faith. Trying to think, you know, who am I going to use as sort of my main... Now, what can I use this on? Let me see. Absorb Pain. I think I can use it on any unit. So maybe I'll throw Absorb Pain on Ultmar here, actually. And I could also give him a Touch of Faith here, which wouldn't be so bad. So we can go Touch of Faith. I can go Absorb Pain. Transfer Pain, I guess. And then with him, I can also cast a spell on myself. Oh, hang on. Before I do that, though, let's just make sure none of these units can dispel or anything like that. No. Okay, that's fine. I haven't actually seen this Tigran Hellion much yet, but you can see here, Firebolt's Heavy Firebolt, which looks like it's kind of like a single shot attack. Kind of like a crossbow shot versus hitting the 3 times. Inflict Immolation, Inflict Scorching Heat, This is a pretty scary unit, actually. And I really like the unit design there. Very cool. Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. And especially the fire damage potential there is pretty scary. So I think what I'll do is I will throw on Last Stand or Lion's Courage. That's the question. We do have a... This is a archer unit, I think. Let me see. Cavalry. Interesting. So it has a bow attack and a melee attack. So it's like a mounted archer. And it actually has charge, given that it's considered cavalry. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Well, what we'll do is I think we will throw on the Last Stand, and then we can also throw on the other buff as well. Okay, and then our Cherub can just kind of head over here. Generally kind of stay out of the way. Prospector can move up as well. Okay, we're going to want to support our hero, but I think with all these buffs, he's going to be very, very strong. So there we go. Again, maybe I should have spread the buffs around a little bit, but I think that's fine. The Martyr can stay back because he's going to be soaking up some of the hits. Unfortunately, our Crab has a little bit of fire weakness, which is not going to be good for this battle. We could also bestow an Iron Heart on somebody, but I think we'll wait till someone's taken a bit of damage first. Let's see if maybe we can goad somebody into attacking the Cherub, perhaps. Or the Crab. What turn are we on here? Round 2. Okay, we still got turns. I just wanted to make sure the battle wouldn't end automatically. Can we get... Nice, we can at least blast the Prowler, try and entice them into coming closer. I think maybe I'll just keep Altmar where he is in defense mode. Again, the Cherub. You know what? Everyone's going to kind of just hang out more or less where they are. I want them to come to me, so... Nice. That Absorb Pain doing its job. Ooh, the Prospector. Oh, no! We lost the Prospector. That's a real shame. I kind of underestimated all their ranged attacks, but... okay, let's get in behind. Nice flank attack there. That was pretty good. We could step up with our Martyr and at least get some pretty solid flank damage there. Altmar can step in and blast the Hellion for some pretty heavy damage. The Cherub, unfortunately, is a little bit too far away. I kind of left him over there by himself. I think with Falsor, we're almost going to have to get in there and get the melee kill, really. So let's do that. It's a bit of a risk here. I think we'll be all right, though. I'm a little concerned about the Catmaster with the bow attack, but I think we'll be fine. So let's do this. Nice. Okay, there's that kill. And then we can step over here and kind of tie up 2 units simultaneously. So let's do that. And we'll kill the Hellion. We are immolated, but we're fine. The Martyr took the damage, so we're okay. Yeah, I think we're in all right shape. Okay, no problem there. Jeez, it's a shame we lost that Prospector, though. But at least we were able to get the battle completed. Oh, nice, and look at this. Okay, a couple of good items here. The Sun Spear, which gives us Throw Sun Spear, which is basically a free attack. And then the Head Scarf for the extra resistance and a little bit of gold. I will happily accept that. Very nice. Okay, that's great. Now, the question is, do I want to maybe give the Headscarf over to Altmar, given that he's going to be kind of in the fighting? That's certainly not a bad idea. I think I'm going to send this stack down here to deal with the Nomads next. And importantly here, we did get a level up for Falsor, which is what we needed. Okay, now we're going to have access to Convert and Healing and Holy Champion. So we've got a lot of options here. I think maybe we'll grab Healing and then we can do Holy Champions next level up. So let's grab Healing. There we go. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, excellent. And then next turn we can join this unit in with this stack, and then we should hopefully be able to handle this quarry. Okay, now for our rogue real quick. I know the episode's getting a little long here, but I think we want to just kind of at least finish up some battling with our rogue. So What we'll do is we're going to avoid this battle. It's a little bit too dicey for my liking at the moment. But we can head down here and engage this battle. Now, we are going to have Mass Curse, so we got to watch out for that. But I think we'll be able to handle it all right. Okay. So here's going to be another situation where I'm going to use Quick Dash just purely for the healing. Our Glazesman's a little worse for wear, but I think our Mammoth Rider should be able to now handle some of the kind of brunt of the attack coming at us. Our Whaler's pretty powerful as well, so I think we'll be okay using our Whaler kind of up front. Nice, okay, they're going to step closer. That's going to make our life actually a lot easier. So now one thing we can do is we can step up with our Flamer. We can blast some damage on the Lost Soul. I mean, ideally, I'd like to just get rid of the Lost Soul. Of course, it can come back, which is a bit of a pain, but... let's see, what if I were to... I got to be really careful because of the Skewer here. It could cause me some serious problems. Yeah, I like this, though. Let's do this. I was kind of hoping maybe we'd get a nice roll there for a critical, but that's all right. So now I'm just going to hope I can... Yeah, there we go. I can step up and get the kill here. Oh, and not quite. I would have to get a critical. That's a shame. What if we were to sprint and get a little bit closer? Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Okay, we'll do it that way. Perfect. Now, I'm going to put the Mammoth Rider, I think... Ooh. Now, the Skewer is going to be a problem. That Mammoth Rider is going to be in danger. So, what I'm maybe going to do... Oh, but then I have to watch out because the Rock Troll could step around. What I'm thinking of doing is putting the Glazesman here. Well, one thing I guess I could do is just go sit right next to the Rock Troll in defense mode with my Mammoth Rider. Put the Glazesman next to the Skewer. But what I really don't want is the Skewer to come over and attack my hero along with the Rock Troll. You know, that could really get nasty fast. My Whaler is still active as well, so got a few options. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to park the Glazesman there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to step up like this, and oh, the Ensnare has a really low chance to land. But it would reduce the movement, so maybe I will do that. Let's do it. Yeah, okay, there we go. Now they got less movement, so less attacks. And you know what? I can charge right in. The Whaler can survive that. That's fine. But I think what I'll do is I'll go like this. I'll park in defense mode, and I'll end my turn there. Yeah, and of course they have regrowth, so... Okay, thank goodness I went in defense there. That was good. And my Glazesman survived. That's perfect. The only problem now is the only unit I could convert would be the Rock Troll. And because it's dedicated to evil, that would be kind of useful. Or useless, I mean. And I mean charm, not convert. So what we'll do is we'll step up with the Flamer. Yeah, we can do some pretty hefty damage. And even try and turn him a little bit here. There we go. Okay. And that's going to open the door potentially for our... rogue to step in behind. Oh yeah, we can get in there with the backstab and get the big damage and then get the kill that way. So let's do that. Nice. Okay, that worked out well. So we got that done. We did take some damage, but we got it cleared. Now we got some more mana. And then you know what? We've got a gold mine down here as well. So maybe what I'll do is I'll clear the gold mine and then we'll call it an episode. We did get a nice level up here for our rogue. Assassin Strike is actually a really powerful ability for the rogue. I quite like that. Actually getting... You know what? I might just get the additional casting points so we can use our heal more often. Oh, Weapon Finesse. Oh, you know what? That would be really nice as well. Just increasing melee strength for all units in the stack. But I think just getting the extra healing would be important right now, given that we don't have any other source of healing for this stack besides us casting spells. So let's do Cloak and Dagger. Unfortunately, that's not going to kick in until next turn, but at least we'll have it ready for that. So we don't have any healing. That's the only problem here. Ooh, you know what? Maybe we should wait. You know what? Okay, let's wait. We'll wait until next turn to try this battle. That'll at least give us a little bit of health back. Oh, and you know what? I completely forgot about the Vampire Hunter. He can, he should have joined in for that battle. He can join in with this battle, though. That's going to be a nice little assistance for us there. And that's going to do it for this turn. So I think that's a great place to leave it. Unfortunately, I didn't get quite as much accomplished in this episode as I was hoping for, but you know, we are still making good progress. I mean, we've brought multiple new cities into the fold, including a Frostling outpost, and then, of course, our Shadow Realm city, which we are very close to having the Theocrats conclave, which is going to be, again, super useful. So overall, pretty happy with it. Again, still this massive problem here, and the Magic Rift. The Necromantic Circle and the Magic Rift are big issues. And it was a shame I lost that Prospector. And I do want to, again, eventually go underground. But for now, I think just clearing out these structures, maybe grabbing some items is going to be useful. So let's just zoom out and take a look at the map. So that's going to do it. So we're going to save it right here. We're going to call this one episode 4. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one.